When it comes to iconic sports cars, very few carry the same weight as the Toyota Supra. And here we have the 2023 Toyota Supra A-91, which is manual. In Canada, we're getting about 50 of these, and in the US, we're getting 500. Did Toyota take this Supra to new heights, or did they fumble the bag with the new Supra? Let's go for a drive and find out. Underneath the sculpted hood of this Supra is a 3.0 liter turbocharged inline-six, also known as the B58 engine from BMW. It produces 382 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque to the rear wheels, of course. And Toyota has really given car enthusiasts a gift, which is a 6-speed manual transmission. You can get the 8-speed auto as well, but the 6-speed is what everyone's been asking for so long now. Ever since the Supra came out, that's all everyone ever wanted. Transmission is super notchy, it's engaging, gears feel perfect. And that turbo blow off, holy crap, that sounds so good. Nice and notchy, it's very snappy, and it just feels really good in the palm of your hands. The clutch travel is rather far, but I like how nicely weighted it is. Unsurprisingly, the manual in this car is a ZF 6-speed from BMW. But what Toyota did is they tore apart this entire transmission and they re-engineered it completely. They modified the housing, the drive shaft, and the gear sets, and they also removed the acoustic package so you get more mechanical noise and feedback when you're shifting gears. And they wanted to make it snappier and more involved, which they really did. The gears are actually very short though. When you're at about 60 kilometers per hour or 37 miles per hour, you're already in 6th gear. So pretty much every 10 kilometers per hour, you gotta shift through a single gear. Makes it more fun and engaging, but as a daily car, you do have to shift quite a bit. Let's do a quick launch. We have it in sport traction, and yeah, this thing gets going. And it sounds freaking amazing, especially that turbo when you're about to shift. And what's crazy about this car is that if you do want a B58, this is the only car you can get it in, because there is no B58 from BMW that offers a manual transmission. Nice little cracks and pops on the downshift, that is perfect. Little down, yep, very responsive. The steering is super direct, and just plants you to the ground, and yeah, this thing is amazing. The precision and engagement offered by this transmission really elevates the driving experience of the Supra. It's way more fun than the automatic. The B58 also very closely mimics a 2JZ. It's also an inline-six, it's also turbocharged, and they're also very reliable and can handle quite a bit of power. And obviously people are tuning this car like crazy. Toyota and BMW never really designed this engine for tuning. They just made it really strong to be reliable. But that just opens up windows of opportunities for tuners and car enthusiasts just to make this thing so much faster, yet still very reliable. These engines have so much potential, you can literally just download 500 horsepower off the internet, just a downpipe and a tune. And all over the world, B58 owners are pushing crazy numbers around drag strips and the track. And the Supra is probably the record holder for B58 speeds on a drag strip because of how much lighter they are from the rest of the BMWs. The motor is efficient, it's reliable, and it's a great motor to build power on. In terms of traction control, you do have fully on, fully off, or sport traction. With it fully on, it basically won't let you kick out at all. It will start braking before it starts oversteering, and with traction half off, you can get the back just to kick out just a little bit, and then it reels you right back in before you snap off. And of course, you can turn off traction fully off, and you can can start doing donuts or burnouts or whatever you want to do in this car. The current Supra's ass kicks out more aggressively than a background dancer in a rap video. It's kind of unpredictable at times, and it will kind of just snap off on you. So for 2023, they revised the whole system. The updates theoretically kind of limits you and will prevent the car from snapping off at random times. I feel like this is much more predictable, and it kind of just gives you more confidence around corners. We have a double joint type McPherson strut suspension in the back, and we have a multi-link independent rear suspension in the rear. And they do have what they call ABS, Adaptive Variable Sport suspension system, which reads the road more than 1,000 times a second and adjusts the dampening force for each individual shock. And that's what makes it feel so comfortable and also very planted at the same time, especially in these corners. Some of these roads aren't the best roads, and it feels perfectly fine in the Supra. This feels sharp and responsive no matter what you put it on. And the fact that it's about 3,400 pounds means it's rather light, especially for a BMW. For 2023, they revised the suspension system, and they have this new feature called Hairpin Assist, which is made for steep hills and hairpins just like this one we're coming up on. It allows for a greater wheel speed difference between the rear wheels, and it allows you just to rotate around these corners much better without snapping off. And that's exactly what it's doing. It's great, yeah. Really steep hairpin right there, and it just plants itself to the ground. It's perfect. And where you point it, it kind of just goes, especially with the 50-50 weight distribution in this car. You do get drive modes, or as I should say, just a sport mode, which you can configure. You can have it in sport handling, or sport engine, or just your dampers. Yeah, this thing is epic. Oh shit. Yeah, a little bit of oversteer, and we're good. Yeah, this is definitely one of the best Toyotas ever made. Hairpin Assist doing its job around here again. Downshift second gear, active reg match really helps, especially when I'm trying to talk to you guys and take these corners at the same time. And you're already going above the speed limit just really quickly. Yeah. No words to describe how wonderful this car is. It's just drive it. I'm in love. You do get 4-piston brakes up front, and it really stops the car. In terms of safety, we have forward collision warning, lane departure warning, road sign assist, backup camera, and parking sensors, as well as your blind spot monitor and rear cross traffic alert. You don't get the adaptive cruise control that you do get in the automatic though, but it basically has all the necessities that you need. In terms of fuel economy, we do get 19 miles per gallon in the city and 27 miles per gallon on the highway, which is significantly worse than the automatic, but for the fun of it, I would much rather just get the manual and lose a little bit of efficiency. The Supra is in my favorite color called See You Later Gray, just because of the name, See You Later. It does also get a red Supra badge indicating that it is an A-91. Of course, we also get these nice curvy hips for those thick rear tires that are 275 in the back and 255 in the front. And they're completed with these 19-inch forged aluminum frozen gunmetal gray wheels, which is also different from the A90. The wide grille is flanked by large air intakes designed to channel air directly to the turbocharged engine, a bold look that also helps optimize performance. We do get what Toyota calls the double bubble roof, which channels the spirit of the famed Toyota 2000 GT. At the same time, it also reduces aerodynamic drag without sacrificing any interior headroom. Up front, we do have these 6-lens LED headlights that integrate both daytime running headlamps and the turn signals to create this very distinctive Toyota Supra lighting signature. We still don't get any spoilers by the mirrors, so you still will have some buffeting with the windows down. You do have this frameless window on the side and this serialization plaque denoting that it's a 50 car production limit, which is reserved for Canada. Inside the Supra, we do get this hazelnut colored leather trim sport seats, which you can only get on the A91. It is a 14-way power adjustable seats with adjustable bolstering like you would find on a BMW. The interior looks very much like a BMW. A lot of the buttons are the same. You do have your wireless phone charging, a colored heads-up display, which is a little off-centered, which I find a little bit weird, but I like it. You do get an 8.8-inch BMW iDrive 6 interface with Apple CarPlay. You get the Toyota Connected app, which is identical to the BMW Connected app. The interior is a little bit rearranged because of the manual. You see how the iDrive controller is shifted to the right a little bit for the manual shifter. The shift boot is in Alcantara. These cup holders are set back here, which I don't really use, and they are a little bit useless because they get in the way when you're trying to shift gears. Just leave any drink in the little back part over here. The cockpit is very driver orientated. It's designed to channel the feel of a single-seater racing car. It puts you right in the front and center while creating this open, roomy feel for whoever is lucky enough to be along for the ride. It is a little bit pinched in here. The visibility isn't all that great, but it is a very small car. And if John Cena can fit in this car in Fast and Furious, then you probably could comfortably as well. Right up front and center, we do get this digital combi meter digital display with a 3-dimensional tachometer that puts performance data front and center. From engine speed to gear selection to the recommended gear that you should be in, and it also is customizable to show your current entertainment selection, navigation, or other key driving information. It's pretty simple, but I really like how it looks. Something very minor that does bother me a little bit with my OCD is that there is no sync button for the climate control, like many of the iDrive 6 BMWs. So you kind of have to control the temperature on both sides if you want the number to be the same. In the back, we do get 10.2 cubic feet of space, which is actually pretty good. You could fit a whole golf bag in the back if you wanted to, but something that kind of annoys me is that there is no little latch or lever to open the trunk. So you have to use a key fob or you have to do it from the inside of the car. All right, since these are both B58s, this does have a strap bar, which the M340 doesn't, but what I really want to find out is whether you can just swap these engine covers. They're hot. Perfect. And let's go to the Supra cover on the M340. Perfect. Nowadays, so many manufacturers are just pushing out bland NPC cars, all about powers and specs, but it's also dull and emotionless. But when Toyota and BMW engineers designed this car, they really put all the puzzle pieces like the chassis, the B58, and the manual transmission to make this the ultimate masterpiece of a sports car. It's full of emotions when you drive it, and it really gets your heart racing, especially on roads like these, or even if you're just driving in a straight line. It's full of emotions, and it will always put a smile on your face when you drive this car, and all for a fairly reasonable price of about $60,000 US or 72 grand Canadian. Considering that something like the M240 doesn't even offer a manual transmission, and it's way heavier, or an M2, which is about $25,000 more than this. This is a really good bargain. But there you have it. This is the 2023 A-91 manual Supra, and it takes its legacy to new heights. It's probably my favorite Toyota by far. Probably one of my favorite BMWs too. And I'd highly consider getting this car, only if I could find one, because there's not really many of these made. There's only 550 available in North America, and they're all sold out by now. I am putting this up against the new Nissan Z and the M340. So stay tuned for those videos coming out soon. Okay, a little bit of oversteer and it snaps right back in place. Downshift, active rev match, doing its job. Right around the hairpin, and so much power. Yeah, just a very linear power band, and that turbo just sounds great. Coming up to this corner right here. Yeah, this thing is so good. I'm in love with this car. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching.